After 2 years of trying, I finally passed my funded account phase 1, which required 10%. And I did this within a span of 1 month, in the month of June. And I used ICT Mentorship 2022 model. And in the whole month, I only took 5 trades, which resulted to 3 wins and 2 losses. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 trades that I took and give you an overview of how the strategy works. So let's get into it. We are going to start in June. I was looking for only sales. I was looking for the market to go down and sell towards this monthly liquidity. And so for 4 weeks, I was only looking for sales, and that is what we are going to get into. From June 1st, we were actually mitigating this daily fair value gap here. And so if we are mitigating this fair value gap, we are only looking for sell entries on the 1 hour. So this market structure shift formed here, and it made this fair value gap, this tiny fair value gap here. But once this setup appeared, I was not very confident, so I decided to just wait for the second entry that may arise. So, and that happened on the 15 minutes. I waited for the 15 minutes market structure shift here. You see this, it has formed a lower low. This is a market structure shift on the 15 minutes, and then it respected this high. So I was 100% sure that the trend had now resumed. And so here I just took this order block here, and that was my entry. And so it gave me a 1:4. I was looking for a 1:4 here, which happened to actually align with this low. So that was my first trade, and as you can see, it hit TP at 8:30, and that was that. So price almost hit my TP, and then it reversed, and this was where the testing and the patience and the sticking to the strategy really comes in handy, because I was really afraid to come and hit this high. But since the trend was aligned, I had to stick to it. So that was the first trade. For the second week of June, I was still looking for sales. So we just wait for Monday to see what happens. So I'm just going to fast forward this to Monday, and there you have it. This week we are also looking for sales. So, but we can see on the 1 hour we are currently bullish. So I'm just waiting on this week. I was just waiting for a market structure shift and a fair value gap to form on the 1 hour. And there was a fair value gap here. Yeah. I saw this, I saw that on the 15 minutes, we are actually very bearish. We have resumed the trend here. We are forming all these fair value gaps here. And once this fair value gap formed in session, I just put in my entry, the stop loss on this high, because this is a protected high, stop loss there, and TP a 1:4. And in this trade, it really tested me, because it almost hit stop loss here, but I waited for it because I was sure of which way the trend was moving. And then the market decided to reverse instantly. Like within 2 candles it wiped out everything, and I ended up being stopped out, and hence I decided that when trading the 15 minutes it's better to come out during session at 10 a.m. or latest 12 p.m. And so this was the first loss of the month. As usual, we wait for Monday to tell us what it's doing, and then we look at the daily. Where are we in the daily? And in this daily we were currently mitigating this fair value gap or this order block, whichever you want. We were mitigating that. So on Monday, once we mitigated that on Monday, I'm just looking for a market structure shift with a fair value gap on Tuesday or Wednesday. So this here. So at this point I was now starting to be confident on this strategy. I am sure it is working and everything. So now I'm not afraid to enter at the first sign of an entry. I don't need a second confirmation. This is the 3rd week. So I'm a bit confident and things are looking nice. I don't need to second guess myself, So once this market structure shifted here, I got in on this fair value gap, stop loss above this high, and target was 1:4 as usual. And it actually exceeded my expectations, but I was fine with the 1:4. So at this point we are 3 trades in, 2 wins and 1 loss. The next week we wait for Monday as usual. There you go. We wait for Monday and then we look at where we are and we see where are we in the daily time frame. On Monday we can see that we were also mitigating this fair value gap. So I'm just waiting for a market structure shift with a fair value gap, and that's it. And this was our big market structure shift here with the fair value gap. So this was a valid entry, but at the time it was creating this market structure shift, it was already in after sessions. So I didn't want to enter here and have to hold it, although this would have been a very good entry, but I didn't want my entry to be in the PM session and stuff like that. So I just waited for the following day to see if I would get an entry. Yes, there. So it mitigated this, and this consolidation is what I didn't want, because in the afternoon, you see the market is dead in the afternoon, so I didn't want to have to hold it in the afternoon. So I went down to the 15 minutes and waited for let me just take it down here. I waited for the market structure shift to shift on the 15 minutes and give me a fair value gap for my entry. So you can see it created this market structure shift with that fair value gap here, and I entered off of this fair value gap and on top of the candle that created the market structure shift, although that was not aligned with my strategy, because the stop loss is always on a high, a swing high or a swing low. So this was against my strategy, and this is to show you that I think sometimes sticking to the strategy saves you, and that's why you need to actually do it. So as you can see, the market mitigated that, and then it took me out. But I noticed that we're actually coming to mitigate this fair value gap here, this 5 minutes fair value gap here. Once it took me out, and I discovered the reason as to why it took me out was to come and mitigate this 5 minutes fair value gap, I stuck on the 5 minutes time frame and waited for a fair value gap to show me that we are now realigning with the trend and we are going for the sales. So I waited for a fair value gap to form, and it formed right here. Let me get rid of this. It formed right here, and that was my second entry. My previous trade was still valid because this swing high had not been taken, so that was what I was relying on. This is not revenge trading. This is just knowing exactly what you're doing and knowing how your strategy works. Okay, so I took I think a 1:4. Yes, it was a 1:4. So it actually came, and I'm telling you, trades will test you, because this trade almost actually hit stop loss. See? But I was sure because on the 5 minutes, this is the market structure shift. It had already made a market structure shift. So on the 5 minutes, the range that I was operating from was this high, and this low. I was sure this is a protected high, and that's why I didn't even panic when price came here. Although, you know, you're human, you're going to see this and start freaking out, but I needed to hold on to the trade because I knew for a fact that this is a protected high, and so I just waited it out, and eventually it came and hit my TP. So the trades are going to test you day in, day out, but that's why you need very elaborate and very strict rules on entry and exits, so that you don't panic when this kind of things happens. This is the trade that actually gave me the win, the final win to actually passing the phase 1. This is to prove to you that waiting for a setup, not rushing trades, because there have always been millions of trades, but waiting for your actual setup and actually sticking to it pays off in the end. Because you see, like this trade, this was just a trade that I shouldn't have taken, and you see, lack of sticking to rules eventually gets you unnecessary losses, you see. But one thing I've learned is that if you stick with your strategy long enough, it's going to pay off. You just need to filter out the ones that don't align and just stick to it. Even if it gives you one trade per week, it is worth it. Because I was just looking at the previous months and how I was trading. You will find that I used to take around 23 trades per month, and at the end of it, you find that I've just gained 1% in a month, you see. And that's when I decided to just stick to ICT Mentorship 2022. I understood it very well and it was working. I just needed more and more patience. So phase 1 is officially in the books, but the real test here starts now as we step into phase 2. Phase 2 requires 5%, and if you want to track the exact live executions, the wins, my losses, and the psychological regulation it takes to manage this funded account, hit subscribe, and we start phase 2 next week.